Oh, we live, baby. We live. I'm gonna wait for some of y'all to come in. I'm just gonna eat real quick. Hold on. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's up, Queen? How you doing? I hope y'all doing good. Hopefully, everybody mental health is straight. That's very important, especially during these times. I just want to make sure y'all good out there. Um, hey, what's up? Like I said, I want to make sure everybody mental health is good right now. Um, Man, we gonna get into Tamla today, but I want to get into something that somebody said to me. I'm glad that both of you are doing good. Somebody said something to me. So what was said to me was that let me back up a little bit. Somebody had a problem with someone I had on a live show, and they told me what's they told me that I condone racist on my show because somebody I had on my show they don't like. Basically, what happened 3-4 years ago, this person had made some ignorant comments, but since then, this person has learned from their mistakes and they totally changed the way they think, their whole thought process. Now, should I still hold that person accountable for being ignorant in the past? Like, did this person really change, or should I hate them forever? How long should I hate them for? Is there really an answer for that? How long should I hate somebody for? There isn't. I would never ever have a racist on my show. There's actually someone who reached out to me when I had my own podcast, right? And well, I still have a podcast. I'm sorry. I have my podcast. They wanted to be a part of my show. And so what they said was like, hey, I'm sorry we got on the wrong foot. A lot of time has passed. Da 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 da. And I was all like, yo, the way you are, I don't know what that show would sound like. What's up, Kenny? I don't know what that show would sound like if you and me were to ever do a show. So I told that person, no. Thank God I had the right mindset to be all like, nah, I ain't gonna have you on my show because this person is still talking crazy. And I don't want to say his name, but there was a guy that went around the world and stole land. His name was Columbus. So you figure out the first name if I give you the last name, Columbus. All right. Moving on. I just want to say I wouldn't have anybody who was racist on my show. All right. Tamla Horsford. The crazy part about this is that the situation happened November 3rd, 2018, but it didn't get media attention until 4 months later on February, I believe 18th or 19th. And the case was, yep, you got it. I'll flash it real quick. Okay, now I'm gonna take it away. I said the name. The person, the case was originally November 3rd is when the incident happened. And then it didn't get like any kind of media until February. Now, it's almost like they try to hurry up and close the case once it got media attention because there's just a lot going on with this case. And it's never set right with me. Yep. It never set right with me. It definitely felt like a setup. And I'm not even going to say, and it does play a role in this, but I'm not going to say because it was 10 white people and 1 black woman. But out of all the people that could have died that night, the black one died. What kind of scary movie are we living in, people? Like, are you serious? Like, what kind of scary movie is this shit? It's just crazy to me. That makes no sense at all. And then if your friend is drunk and you know that she's drunk, wouldn't you like take care of your friend? Wouldn't you try to like make sure they're okay? Make sure they got water, they're not throwing up, making sure that your friend is okay, at least be somewhere near your friend while they're drunk and highly intoxicated, because the way they made it seem was like, oh, she was good that night, she just told us that she was going to take. Yep, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It seemed more like a murder, and especially when it comes to the injuries. But say if she even went outside to go take a cigarette smoke, she took a little cigarette break or whatever. If she was really intoxicated, I'd be like, hey, you might not want to do that, or I'm going to go outside with you to make sure you're okay. I'm not just going to let you go smoke outside by yourself. No telling what could have happened. Yes. Yes, the call. Definitely. So now I have read a couple of different reports. I read one that because of the time change, it wasn't really 7:30, it was 8:30. And then I heard that no, they really did discover her at 8:30, and then the 911 call was made at 8:59. See, the thing is about this case, and if you watch other people on YouTube, the facts are all over the place, or what was reported, not facts. What was reported is all over the place because they really try to close this case so far, super fast before anybody could get anything, get any information, do a proper investigation. Yeah, it does give you chills because you're all like, yo, this was like her last final moments. And the way she's like, it kind of reminds me of a scene of Get Out. Like, this was Get Out. Basically, that's what it reminded me of. Get Out. And you know what? I wonder, did they take photos? That's one thing you think that would be, we would see. We would see some kind of photos or something like that. What I do understand was that when she went over the balcony, quote unquote, she was face first lying down, and like one arm, I forgot if it was right or left, one arm was to her side and the other one was kind of face down. And I was just thinking, if it really was that forceful, wouldn't she have like some kind of broken bones? She only had like a broken wrist. Yep. Oh, the coroner did not take the autopsy photos. Well, that makes sense why there's no photos. I'm all like, there has to be photos. Recently her family had an independent investigation, which I thought that was good that they went out, independent autopsy, I'm sorry. And they said based on the evidence, there's no way that she would have died just from a fall. That doesn't make any sense that she would just die from a fall. Like, they said it's about 20 feet. I failed math. I'm not great when it comes to measurements and stuff like that, but they said she fell about 20 feet where the balcony was. I just don't think, and especially there was a tear in her heart. There was like bruises, lacerations, and all that. There had to be some kind of struggle that happened before then. And like I said, let me just say, everything is allegedly. This is just from the information that I got. We don't know what really happened to her, but we know she didn't just fall over a fucking balcony. We know that. All right. Yes. Why were there 3 men and 7 women at a sleepover? It was supposed to be a football mom sleepover. Why were the men there? And I'm not saying that you can't have mixed company. I'm not saying that at all. You definitely can have mixed company, but why, if it was only supposed to be the football moms, why were there 3 men there? That seemed like a setup. Exactly. I truly believe that as well too. They placed her on the ground. And because, the boyfriend of the homeowner, I don't even want to say, I think his name is like Jose or whatever. He actually worked for the sheriff's office. So he actually accessed the files for the investigation, which that should have been a red flag. Like, all they did was fire him. No, he should have been put to jail. Like, no telling what he did, if he deleted something. My thing is like, what if somebody gave him access to the files and this is kind of like their cover up? Yep. It's a tire mess all around. I don't. If it was supposed to be a football mom sleepover, I don't know why the men were there. Now, have you ever? Let me say this. We've all been drunk. We all over 21 right now. If you're not, wait until you're 21 to drink. I do want to say that. But we're all over 21. We've all had those moments where somebody had to take care of us. I typically don't get to that point, but we've all had those moments. And I just know that my friends, no matter black, white, Mexican, no matter what, they always take care of me. And I don't believe that this woman would have went over there and got that drunk if she didn't trust these people. That's a whole different scenario to it. I don't believe that she would have got that drunk if she didn't trust those people. Exactly. He worked there and had access to the evidence. See, there we go. And the crazy part is that they said that the last time the door had closed or open was at 1:57 a.m. So I'm all like, okay, if everybody was leaving the house around 1-ish, like nobody like thought anything, like, hey, what is she still doing outside? Let me check on her before I go to bed. Because they all had this thing where like, oh, she was a smoker. That's why she was outside and she went to go smoke. You know, like, yeah, that's easy to say. I know some smokers. They'll go outside in a minute and go smoke real quick. But what would she had done, like looking over the balcony? Like, was she possibly throwing up? Was she throwing up over the balcony? But they didn't say they found any vomit or anything like that. Like, I just don't believe she would have fell over the balcony without actually purposely like looking over. Maybe she looked down and then she fell over. That doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe there was something on the ground. She tripped over something. That doesn't make any sense to me because the way the balcony looks, and I'm trying to see how I can fit in video and photos in here without YouTube taking it down, but I haven't yet figured that out. Yeah, I don't think there was any vomit, at least not what I read from. Like, because I just don't, no matter if she was smoking the cigarette over the balcony, she would have put her arm, down on the banister, she would have did that. She wouldn't like lean all the way over and just be like this. Like, why would she lean all the way over just to smoke a cigarette? That doesn't make any sense at all. It's very crazy. And then I just think also there had to be some kind of struggle. Something went down because if you remember, they said she wanted to go home and she was going to drive. And they're like, wait, you're way too drunk to go home. Now, out of all those people that was at that party that left, that end up leaving the party, why nobody said like, hey, we can take you home. Like, let's go home, like come home with us and we'll take you home on our way home. I don't believe that if you knew your friend really wanted to go home, you'd be like, hey, come on with me. I'll take you home. Like, but I'm not letting you drive. That's a responsible thing to do. Like, you don't have to force her to be there. If she really wanted to go home, let her go home. Some of the women who were there didn't do anything. Even if they weren't in the plan, they could have stopped it. Exactly. Yep, definitely premeditated. Uh, yeah, no, nobody is. So let me ask you guys this: who's watching? Does anybody believe that she totally just fell over the balcony and it was an accident? Does anybody believe this was just an accident? Let me ask that. Let me take a drink break real quick. No, okay. Silence is everything. Nobody believes that shit was an accident. Come on now. That was completely a setup. Right. Yes. Well, according to the lawyer, he did mention that there was some kind of previous struggle that was caught on camera. Now, what the clip they show, they always show her laughing, hugging on everybody. They don't show us all the videos. That's my thing. It's almost like, well, that county that they're in, what's the name of the county? It's something with an F in Georgia. But I guess this county is known for being the most racist county in Georgia. Right. I don't believe her family would be fighting so hard for her if this was truly just an accident. Also, as well, how do you guys feel about when they said that they found her alcohol? She was at like a point 8 or something like that, and then her alcohol, her blood level, and then also she had a Xanax too, which they said she doesn't take a Xanax. And her friend that did the interview was all like, "Yeah, that's not even her. Like, she doesn't have like anxiety or anything like that. She wouldn't have took a Xanax." Somebody must have slipped that in her drink. I don't know why she would. Oh, thank you, you guys. Yeah, but that's the county. Look, that shit. I see. I should have looked it up. How many black? How many white? How many cases that they have of like racial tension in that area? Right. I definitely think she was slipped some. Definitely roof. Yes, that was not hers. That was actually, I believe, it was the homeowners. It was the homeowners Xanax. And they even said like one of the friends at the party made posts about how they have like so much anxiety and that they take a prescription drug. And I don't think people take well. Let me take that back. I have heard of people taking Xanax as kind of like a party drug, but if you don't really mess with that stuff, trust me, I get pressured to do a lot of different drugs, and I don't do that. So my thing is that if you're not a person that really does drugs or like pills or anything like that, you wouldn't do a pill on some kind of random night. I don't believe that. I don't believe she would just be all like, oh, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and take this Xanax, see what it does to me on just a random night. And then also, I want to say that they talk about her having marijuana in her system. What did the marijuana have to do with anything? I know you can say you found that in her system, but marijuana doesn't make you fall over a balcony. I'm sorry. That's crazy to me. I feel that they had something went down late at night, sometime at 1 o'clock somewhere. Something went down. That's why people were leaving, because they were like, "Oh, let's get the fuck out of here." But before they left, they were like, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do. This is the story that we're gonna tell. You got your script, all right. Make sure you go home, practice it, sleep on it. When you wake up in the morning, we're gonna go ahead and call 911, and then that's the way shit's gonna go down." That's what I believe would happen. They're all like, "Okay, we're gonna go with this scenario." Right. I do believe that. Now, that's definitely where I believe race plays an issue. I feel like they're like, "Oh yeah, this bitch was just drunk." She was just drunk and she fell over, you know, hella nonchalant. That's probably what they were. Because if you listen to that 911 call, and I wish I could play without YouTube taking my stuff down. If you listen to that 911 call, you're kind of like, it just doesn't, they're not panicked. You know, say if one of you guys fell over the balcony, I'd be like, oh my God, like, I don't know what to do. Somebody just hurry up, get here. There was no like, what's the word? Like, I don't want to say pepping your stuff, but there was no like urgency. There was no urgency at all. Like to be all like, okay, what, you know, somebody just get here. We don't know what happened to her. She's just laying there. You know, you would have some kind of sense of urgency if you were calling 911. Why one if women at the party posted on Facebook that she did not fall from the balcony? Oh, I didn't know that somebody said that she didn't fall from the balcony. Okay. Oh, say there was camera footage. Yeah, in the 911 call, he said there was camera footage, and then all of a sudden, there's no camera footage. Janine said that she may have deleted it when she emailed to the... Ooh. I can definitely see that as well, too. They may have deleted that footage, especially if this all went down at 1-some in the morning, even though they're saying they discovered her at 8:30. If it all went down at 1-some in the morning, they had enough time to delete that. Yep, eventually one of them fuckers is going to crack when all the info and facts come to light. I believe that too. Especially now in this time with everything that's going on. That shit's definitely going to come to light. You know what? YouTube hasn't took my shit down for cussing, so don't worry. We good. I would stay away from maybe derogatory terms. I know they'll take your stuff down. Panic. Yeah, that's the word too. Some kind of urgency or some kind of panic they would have had on the 911 call. They just kind of sound like whatever. I mean, John, the girl, the 911 call, she did kind of seem like a little tense or something like that, but it wasn't urgent. Do you think because we black, maybe that's why we think there should be some kind of panic or urgency? Maybe when white people call 911, it's not a panic. Maybe they don't see it as a panic or urgency, you know? Let me know. Yeah. And the way in the 911 call that the dispatcher was kind of just all like, oh, well, if she's just all dead, you know, just don't do anything, you know. Yep. They killed her already. That's why they didn't have any urgency. You're right, Queen. What's up, Tori? Thank you for joining us. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Kevin. The balcony did not look that high up. It didn't look that high up at all. Not saying you can't get hurt from falling that high, but it did not look high enough to where, oh my God, like I'm falling to my death. Yep, they need to check social media because you know once something hits social media, it doesn't leave. Like once you put the shit out to the internet, it's there forever and anybody can access that. Why wasn't a deep investigation done on that? Exactly, I believe that. That police force was all like, "Oh, it's some black woman." Okay, yeah, she died. She was drunk. She was high. She had weed. She had Xanax because they also took the tequila bottle out her purse and they took the weed out her purse too when they were doing when they got there to do like an investigation. So they were already looking like, okay, she was high and she had this alcohol, and they said it was about an eighth full. And y'all know I failed math, so I can't do the measurement, but they said it was about an eighth full. So they're assuming that she was just highly drunk. Yeah. That is a shame. I hate even saying that. But there was so many different loopholes and everything like that. Yep, that's what I was saying. The real life Get Out. Yeah, the internet never forgets. And and maybe I think and I hate to say that George Floyd had to die because he didn't have to die, but we needed this whole what's going on right now. We needed this whole great awakening. We needed this revolution to put attention to cases like this, because there's so many times and people think oh, this is just one black person. Why do you guys get all crazy? No, because shit like this happens to us all the time. It just doesn't get reported out there. So when you guys see it once every 6 months, you're all oh, well, that's just one person, whatever. Who cares? No, we care because this happens constantly to us. It's not just one time this happens to us. It happens to us all the time. We just don't get the media coverage that everybody else does. Yep, it happened in 2018, November 3rd. That's when it went down, Kevin. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to ignore you. Exactly. That's what I was mentioning. I believe if she felt comfortable enough to get drunk with these people, she really trusted them. People don't realize that. If you're going to get drunk with somebody, you just don't get... Some people get drunk with random people, but that's a different show. But if you really trust these people, you just don't all of a sudden get drunk, just randomly with random strangers. You knew these people, you trusted them, you liked these people. Oh, okay. I'm from London. First time I heard about this case was February 2019. Yes, 4 months later. That's when it finally got media attention. 4 months later. Crazy. Shit is wild. 4 months later, all of a sudden it finally got media attention. And then all of a sudden, when they closed the case, it went away. And then it was kind of well, how did y'all see fit that this case was closed? You really assumed that she was just drunk. Oh, definitely. Yo, they all would have got the electric chair, all 10 of them. If they was all black and the one white person, they would have all, electric chair. No way in hell. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Oh, that's the link, y'all, if y'all want to join. Yeah, I feel that way too. They befriended her just to end up murdering her. And why? I just wonder what was their motive. Even if they are racist, what would have been their motive? Or did something happen there? There was some kind of maybe she really wanted to go home. She was grabbing her keys and everything to go home, and they were like, "No, you're too drunk. You're too drunk." Maybe that could have been a cause of a struggle somewhere. That could have definitely happened, where there was some kind of struggle where she was like, I want to go home, and they kept saying, no, you're too drunk. They probably got to tussling or something. The men, of course, because there were 3 men, and this was supposed to be a football mom sleepover. There are 3 men. Something tells me that it just doesn't seem right. The citizens against their own mayor because he wanted to integrate the... Wait, they didn't want to integrate the schools? Oh, it's some shit there. We in 2020. Queen, do you know when that went down? Even if that went down 10, 20 years ago, that's still some bullshit. Yep. Some kind of jealousy or something. Yeah, I want to go back to this real quick because that's crazy. I'm going to have to look that up. I wonder if I can do that. If it wasn't just me on here, I would definitely look it up real quick. But yeah, that's crazy because I want to look into that. Yeah, the injuries were very confusing. Yes, I mentioned that too. The tear in her heart. Where did the tear in her heart come from? I don't believe you can get a tear in your heart from that. Like, and then also they said like it was blunt force or trauma or whatever. Like, even from the fall, she would have had to, and she didn't break her neck either. She would have had to break her neck or something extensive for her to die from that fall, like fall directly on her head and just, you know, like that part doesn't make any sense to me. All right, bye, Kenny. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. Yeah, I believe that there was some kind of disagreement. That's sad. There was some kind of disagreement. Ooh, in the 1900s, there was some kind of okay. Oh, you know what? And there's a situation in California where I live, Pauldale, that's Southern California. There was a young black kid that was found hung from a tree. Now they try to say it was suicide, but the hanging from a tree, like if you're going to commit suicide, usually you would do that in your home, you know, from, I don't even want to go into detail on anything like about suicide because that, I don't want to turn it dark, but that case in itself, something is up with that. And I'm going to try to keep up with that case and keep y'all up to date. To walk the children to, wow. Wow, like Ruby Bridges, basically. A modern day situation. That's crazy. What's up, Rachel? Yeah, there was no blood. That's the crazy part. There was no blood found at all. Right. I definitely think they were lying about that. Yeah. That just crazy. Yeah. They're trying to say it was suicide. Yeah. So we confirmed that there was some kind of tussle. Like what we're alleging is that there was some kind of tussle with Tamla. So what do you guys actually think that what went down? Because we already know she didn't fall over the balcony. What do you guys think actually happened? We kind of alluded to there was some kind of tussle, but how did it get to that point where they all of a sudden might have allegedly placed her body on the ground and said it was a fall? Yes, the crime scene was very clean. Right. I definitely agree with that. The crime scene was very clean. It just didn't seem that all of a sudden she gonna like if it was really what it was said to be, there would have been blood. In the 911 call, you actually hear him say like, "No, there's no blood." Yeah, I really believe that she wanted to go home. They said, "No, you're too drunk," or maybe because I keep saying, because I'm putting it in the light that maybe they were good friends and they told her not to go home. Maybe some shit happened, some shit went down, some fuck shit happened, and she wanted to go home because she didn't feel comfortable. Because there's been plenty of times where I've been drunk and like I'll get into some kind of dispute or something, and I'm all like, you know what, I'm gonna go home, but I'll realize like, okay, let me calm down, let me just go outside for a minute, get some fresh air. But maybe something happened there. She didn't feel comfortable because, mind you, in the pictures that they show online, because they show her all happy, all hugged up and everything like that, maybe the men came in and she was like, hey, what's going on? Like, why are there men here? Because why was Tamla, why did she not get an opportunity to invite her husband, or did her husband not want to go? Why couldn't she invite her husband? Right. I think she refused. Ooh, that's a good one. One of the men tried to do something, she refused, and then boom, they had to create this whole cover up. And because of the county that they're in is racist, it was easily, and especially Jose, he works, he worked for the sheriff. So yeah, when the homeowner was being interviewed, the homeowner interrupted the interview by giving the police officers gift cards. I've had enough. Whoa, she interrupted the interview to give them. Oh my god, I didn't even see that. Right, I definitely think that probably what it was. Yo, I think that too. And I don't want to ever blame the victim because Tamla is definitely the victim in this case. I don't want to blame her, but I just think like, man, what if she didn't go to this party? Like this would have never happened. But then I think, just like we were saying, like how she got drunk with those people, she really trusted those people. Like if my one of my best friends invited me over, like, hey, we're gonna have a party, chill, whatever. I'm thinking like, okay, we about to turn up, everything cool. I'm not thinking like, damn, they're gonna try to kill my ass. Like, they build up the trust, and then they did what they did. I definitely think that's what happened. They built up the trust, so they were able to kill her. Yeah, very corrupt. Like, why wasn't like a what you call a rape kit done, or something to determine if that possibly happened? No, they didn't. They Now that wasn't meant. If they did, they covered it up, but they didn't mention that at all. Exactly. That's my thing. If my friend died at my home, I wouldn't be the same person. Like, I would do everything in my power to make sure that the family is taken care of. Like, I would do everything I could to make sure they were good no matter what. Even if it wasn't my fault, I would still feel guilty that somebody died at my place. Now, they said that the father, Tamla, was invited over and stuff like that. Like, but he wasn't trying to go over there. And I don't blame him for that. It just seems like they would do more for a friend that passed away. Exactly. We already know that the coroners are no good. They're full of shit because they try to say because he had heart complications and everything. They went back to his medical history to try to justify his killing, basically saying that it wasn't from being choked, having a knee on his neck. He couldn't breathe. Right. Definitely a cover up. Yeah, he was very calm. Too calm. You should be panicking. There should be some kind of urgency in your voice, like, hurry up, get here. Now, he did say that he already checked her to see, if she was moving or if she was still alive, and he said no. But even then, I'm not personally for me, and maybe he has seen a lot. Personally for me, I haven't seen a lot of dead bodies. I only seen a couple of dead bodies before, and they were either in the casket or they had just passed away from, natural causes or something like that. I'm still not comfortable seeing a dead body. There'd be some kind of like, oh my god, some kind of panic, some kind of urgency, like, hurry up, get here. I can't stress that enough. Why are you so cool and calm? Exactly. They already assumed that she was dead. Something tells me that they waited for that they waited for that dispatcher to clock in for her shift, and they called at that time. Now I know it doesn't work out perfectly like that, but it could happen by chance because just the way the dispatcher was all like, "Oh well, she's already dead. Don't move her." Exactly. There should be some kind of like, oh my God, like this is my friend. Oh shit, like what happened? Like, what could I have done? You would think that they would have been like, what could I have done to help or prevent this? Yeah, exactly. They waited 14 minutes. Uh-huh. I would have been called. Exactly. And even I know it's not proper to do. I would have like at least got on top of her, like trying to shake her, like wake up, wake up. You know, what are you doing? What are you doing laying here? Because I would have been in disbelief that my friend just fell over the balcony and died. I would be trying to like resuscitate her or something, you know? Oh, that could have been as well too. Exactly. And then yeah. Man, I hate to say that. Yep. They definitely try to cook up their story. Exactly. Exactly. Stranger or friend. You're going to be in some kind of panic. You're going to try to help them out. Yes. Arrest all of them. So, as far as, because we're already assuming that this shit was a cover up, right? What should happen to these people? Should they be sentenced to life? Should they all be given the death penalty? Because I feel like, as far as all those people that were at that party, they're all guilty. They're all guilty. Whether some of them get 25 years, 30 years, life, death penalty, they all guilty because this was all a cover up. What should they be sentenced to? Because something got to happen. Mm-hmm. And I seen on the TV when they were talking about this case, they were saying that the town is still very segregated. Or the county, I'm sorry. The county is still very segregated. Yep. Saying that she died around 1:30. Yep. And then that's when they were all leaving. And my thing is like, were you guys all leaving? Because it was supposed to be a sleepover. So were you guys all leaving because some shit was going down? Because that would be my assumption. Because y'all all left within like a few minutes of each other. So was some shit going down? Exactly. Yeah, definitely try to slow her down. Yep. I believe that could be a possibility too. Life. Yeah, life for life. Death penalty. Yep. Guilty by association. Yep. Y'all on the right track. Life without parole. Yep. Yes, I think the FBI to get involved. I'm sure there are so many more murders of African Americans there that were swept under the rug. Yep. I say the FBI needs to investigate that whole county. Honestly, at this point, everyone deserves to go down. The friends, in quotation, friends, because they definitely weren't her friends. I'm glad you put that in quotations. The police officers, etc. I seen the Tamla's lawyer response. It was amazing. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. And I hope that now that this case has been coming back up, because if it hits the shade room, and I hate to say, if it hits the shade room, it gets a lot of attention. So hopefully this does help. Yep, FBI, we in agreement. There was no autopsy photos. No. Now the independent autopsy, I don't know if they did something with that, with the independent autopsy. I don't know if they did that the family did. I don't know if they had photos, but if they did an independent autopsy at that time, and it's already been like almost 2 years now. The body's probably already decaying, so I don't know if they were able to do photos as well. Yep, Rachel, I agree with Queen. Well, actually, I agree with all of you. Yes. Because they all left around one something. Something tells me they knew what was going down. They're all like, oh, let's get our shit. Let's get the fuck out of here. Oprah did an interview in the town in 1987. There were... Oh, yeah, I remember Oprah did that whole story about, like, there is a town with no black people or something like that. I remember, like, I don't remember the show, but I remember, like, them talking about that episode of the show. Damn, was that in that same county? That probably was, because I think it was Georgia. And this is why I always get nervous about, and don't get me wrong, I'm not completely ignorant. I know, just like we talked about that kid in Palmdale, there's a whole bunch of ignorance in California. Don't get me wrong, but I always worry about going to the South because I'm all like, there's too many far distance areas where it's not in like civilization and it's somewhere in the cuts or the boonies. Like, I'm always worried about that shit whenever I think of the South. I'm all like, no, I need to live in a big metropolitan area if I was ever to live in the South, you know? Because I wouldn't do that here, you know? Yeah, she got there at 9. Yeah. Right. And if it was a sleepover, why did she want to go home if it's a sleepover? That's my thing. Yeah, they needed to make some kind of commotion to deflect. Yep. Yep, you're right, Taylor. Exactly. It was a sleepover, but people were leaving. Sorry if I'm missing some of you guys' comments. I'm trying to keep up with y'all. Like, y'all hyped up right now, so I'm trying to keep up with everybody. Right. You know what? I realized that too because Tamla was the only one with like the onesie, you know, like she was actually dressed up for like the occasion. The other ones didn't seem like they were dressed up to like stay there. That boggles my mind right there. Okay, the county is too rich. It's 13th richest county in the world. Oh, okay, I see why they don't like and only like, you know, they don't like this, but they like this. Okay, I'm just going through y'all comments right now. Sorry if I'm going slow, y'all. Hopefully I ain't bothering y'all. Okay. Is Atlanta. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're from London. Yeah. Atlanta. Yep. Oh, because there was no autopsy photos. That's why they want to get involved. Yeah. Okay. Tori, my grandma is actually from Myrtle Beach. And don't get me wrong, I really like Myrtle Beach, but it was crazy because you didn't really see, and at the time I was in the 5th grade, but you really didn't see races mixing together as far as like really like and I'm not saying relationships, I'm saying just talking to each other. You really didn't see that. Like, it's kind of like this was the black area, this was the white area. Even though segregation was years ago, it still felt like that. Yeah, it went left very fast. Yeah. Exactly. I feel like it was her gut feeling. Like she wanted to leave. Yeah. She was all like, hey, something's wrong. Something's going on. I want to get the hell up out of here. Oh yeah. And I wrote down the time somewhere too with the door. If somebody can please look that up when the doors open and closing for the balcony door, because that was suspicious all in itself. I should have had that for you guys. I apologize. Yeah, it don't align with the alarm door. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely wanted to talk about this. You know, I love doing the funny stuff, but I also want to be serious and I want to bring people together, have talks, have discussion, have communication. You know, there's a lot going on in the world. I just want to do my part in being a voice for people, you know? Yep. Yeah, most of the people were in regular clothes. And like I said, sorry if I skipped some of your comments. I apologize. Oh, drop the link. I'm sorry, Coco. Okay, I should have been dropping the link in there. If you're on YouTube, I put it in Facebook. So if you go on Facebook on top, you'll see the link. And then here on YouTube, I just did the link right now, so you'll see it. Yeah, I wonder what time the men pulled up at. They probably pulled up late. Oh, the dad was a higher up official. That makes sense. Right. You're so right about that. Exactly. Why, if I knew my friend really wanted to go home, I'd be like, hey, I'll take you home. I don't want you driving because you're drunk, but I'll take you home. Yeah. The people at that party were sick. Definitely. Sick murderers. Mm. Yeah, Taylor, I've been seeing a lot of different articles and a lot of different YouTubers talking about this. Oh, somebody got the link to the doors. Hey, by talking about this, I feel like we're basically solving the case right now by us talking about it right now. Exactly. I think, yeah, I agree. I think she refused. Hey, anybody know if Coco is still in here? I dropped the link. Or I dropped it. So exactly. What did he release? All they did was fire him. And I think they fired him just because that came out in the media that he looked at the files and everything like that. I think that's why they just fired him, but they didn't say what exactly he accessed. Did he erase anything? That's my thing. Did he erase anything? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, blunt force trauma and no blood. Exactly. How do you have blunt force trauma and no blood? Exactly. Yeah. They definitely laid her body there. Now, no, I don't even think like they would have threw her over the balcony. I think they laid her body on the ground. Oh, he got another job in that county? Oh, we definitely know this was a setup. We definitely know that was a setup. Like how you got another job in that county already? Like Something like that, you definitely should not have a job working for the government or the county. Yep. Yeah, I definitely know that they did something. They did something to hurt her where it wouldn't cause any kind of blood or little blood. Because the way that she had like um it was not her ribs but like her torso area, there are like injuries to her torso area. That lets me know like they were doing something to her body. They were doing something to her body and not her face on purpose, because they knew they were going to do this whole we threw her over the balcony shit. Right. Okay, they're on Google. Okay. I don't want to back out of this because I think it'll close it out if I back out of this. Dang, I wish I could look at it. Exactly. It seemed like when I'll read this. It seems like every time someone points out, "Oh, alcohol can't do that," it comes out that there's something else like Xanax or weed. Yep, I was saying that, and even then, Xanax and weed, like Tori was saying, was a downer. So it doesn't make you like. She would have fell asleep. You know, if anything, she would have been asleep. Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, Faye, I don't see the links either. I was wondering if I don't see the links because I'm on the StreamYard, but I guess we don't see them. Period, though. Oh, from desktop, not the laptop. Okay, maybe that's why I'm on my laptop. Or I wonder if you can see it on your phone. Exactly. I'm surprised like CNN, Fox News. Well, we ain't gonna hold Fox News accountable for nothing because we already know how they get down. But yeah, I'm surprised CNN, MSNBC. Like, why was this just on the local news? Like everything that I've seen on the news about this was all on your local stations. Oh, her brain was bleeding. Exactly. Yeah, Breonna Taylor. They passed that law. They can't just come in. They have to knock, and their cameras have to be on too. They passed that law. Oh, we got somebody on the line.
Hey, AT2.
What's up, Coco? How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, you're always welcome. Did you have anything to add to the situation?
It just seems very suspicious that Tamla ended up face down.
Right.
And from the police 911 call, a young lady started off stating that maybe she fell from the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds like they had already had this plan to tell this story, because then Jose Barrera gets on the phone and states that it looks like maybe she jumped from the balcony.
Yeah, it's
and like you said, the 911 operator, I'm not understanding her questions. Why are you asking him how tall the balcony is?
right. How do we know she truly fell over the balcony?
Correct.
It just seems like they already had that assumption that she fell over the balcony.
Exactly. And the homeowner, if I'm not mistaken, in a Facebook post stated that no one fell from her balcony. and then all of a sudden it mysteriously disappeared.
Yeah, that's what you guys were talking about in the comments. Like all of a sudden it disappeared. And she said nobody fell over the balcony. Yeah, because she know what really happened. That's how she know nobody fell over the balcony.
Exactly. And now, if I'm not mistaken, allegedly the house is up for sale.
Oh, now all of a sudden it's up for sale?
Yeah. So it just I'm glad that the GBI is reopening the case because it's too many unanswered questions.
Right. Way too many unanswered
And
questions.
things aren't aligning up at all.
Yeah. Well, Coco, now that you're on, what do you think actually happened? Like, what actually went down? Like, from your assumption, allegedly, and I have to say allegedly because we're on YouTube, even though we know what's going on. But allegedly, what do you think that happened?
I think it was a get out situation. I think they were going to try to either have sex with this young lady or take advantage of her in some type of way, and she fought back. And they wasn't expecting her to fight back with all of the Xanax and weed and alcohol they had already pumped her full of.
Right. They're all like, damn, this bitch fighting back? Oh, shit. You know, something with a rye or something like that, to the point where they're all like, oh, damn, she fighting back, you know?
Exactly. The family autopsy does not match the state's autopsy. It doesn't match up at all.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I didn't have the report here either, but they were basically saying like, no, like you could tell from the injuries there was some kind of struggle, right? Or something that happened. It wasn't from a fall. Her death.
That's what and she has lacerations that she got after she was already dead.
Right. And Queen just said the dispatcher asked specific questions to fit a narrative from the jump.
That's what it
did seem like that.
So when you made that statement,
honestly, it seemed like
they were, yeah. But you have to realize, if I'm not sure if you saw my comment, this county is the richest, like the 13th richest in the world. So
in the world, yeah,
they have power to do this, to make things disappear. Allegedly, the family has been getting threats to keep their mouth closed. Allegedly, the friends of Tamla have been threatened to keep their mouth closed.
Really? So they all like, okay, you need to go along with this whole made up story, or we gonna do something like crazy.
Right.
Yeah, none of these people feel guilty enough that they can't sleep. All the guilt. Not one person wanted to come forward. Damn shame. Exactly. That's my thing. Like, even if I was in a scenario where personally I didn't do anything, but I knew something went down, that shit would eat me up inside. I would have fucking moved. I wonder, are all those people that were in, at that party, if they still live in that county or that town, or they still live in Georgia, or they moved. Like, I'm definitely moving. Yeah, they broke her wrist. Her wrist was broken. Yeah,
and all of this stuff.
And I wonder, what about you? Like,
was supposed to be deceased.
Right. And Coco, for you, what if you were in that situation where something went down? Like, would you still live in that county, or would you get the hell up out of there?
Well, AT, I would come forward and actually let them know what happened. It just baffles me how people cannot have a conscience.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Queen said the outside autopsy reported stated some of the injuries were after she passed away.
She is correct.
They definitely could have threw her ass over after that. Yeah.
Right.
I do believe that.
I definitely think that's what they did. They either dragged that young lady out there and laid her face down and made it a point to keep saying that she is face down. I'm not sure why they kept stating that to make it seem like, okay, she did jump from the balcony, she would be face down. It just is all a joke. It's ridiculous.
Right. And the reason why I had put you on the spot with that one question about like what would you do? Like, would you stay in that town? Is because personally for me, I would have came forward, told what happened, and then I would have moved my ass somewhere else across the country or
Exactly.
to a different country, you know. But the fact that they feel so protected to still live there, not feeling like, oh, I'm gonna be threatened for my life because people are gonna come after me. The fact that they felt comfortable enough to still live where they lived, that tells you a lot, you know?
Exactly. Well, you have to understand that these
Yep, the
are
darkness of the world, right?
the elite in this county.
Mm-hmm. And Queen, I believe you. Yeah, I believe they're racist, so it doesn't eat them up inside. But damn, you would think something would eat them up inside, but I guess they really don't care.
Exactly. They would have some type of heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kevin, yep, they were threatening witnesses. I can definitely see that.
So you were asking us,
Yeah, especially
you were asking us, what do you think
oh,
they
go ahead.
should?
Okay.
What do you think they should get as far as jail time? I'm going to ask you that question. What do you think?
I think, you know, if they weren't necessarily involved in the murder, then just life in prison. But the people that physically did harm to her should definitely get electric chair, lethal injection, have their balls, vaginas cut off, all that shit.
Exactly. I feel like everyone
I
that
have
worked
no
there,
sympathy for them.
even if they weren't involved, they have some idea of what happened. So the hands of one is the hands of all.
Yeah. Hey, I'm even gonna throw the dispatcher in there. Throw that bitch in there.
Absolutely, please, somebody get her.
The
Because
dispatcher, the
I don't know,
officer that came out to the home.
everything
All of
seems
them.
like it was already planned. Like we're gonna
Right.
do this at this time. Oh, she's gonna be in work at this time. It just, it does seem a little iffy.
Yeah. And you know what? I wonder, like, if the neighbors, because you mentioned that the neighbors probably know the truth. I'm reading the comment right here. I wondered that the neighbors, like, were they asked questions? Were they interviewed? Like, did they hear some kind of noise or commotion? Like, somebody had to hear something. You know how many nosy neighbors there are in the world?
Exactly.
Somebody had to hear something.
But they have no witnesses for this case. No witnesses have come forth.
Yeah.
And
exactly. I don't think this was the first time.
It's not the first time. Correct. You are absolutely correct.
Definitely.
The first time.
They know how to maneuver. They know how to move around. They know this. Everybody, just the way the 911 call, and I didn't realize this until you guys said it. It sounded perfect. Like she asked the right questions to make sure that they were innocent, basically. They have annual marches and protests blacks. They're living. I wonder if the day she was murdered ties into something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Yes. Yep. Yep. They definitely did this before.
Yeah,
so it seemed like
it was too calculated. It was too calculated and precise, but they didn't align their stories up.
Right. They didn't align their stories up. That's why it's so muddy right now.
It's very muddy. Yeah.
Another comment. Yeah, me too. I definitely think race played a huge part.
Yeah, like in my statement in the chat, this is the same town that Oprah went to. in 87.
Yeah, and that's crazy how you brought two and two together because I didn't even think about that. That I remember hearing that story. I just didn't know where or what town it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said she was the only smoker.
Right. They kept saying that she was the only smoker.
Yeah, she's a smoker. She's a, and they actually ran with that too. They were like, she's a smoker. She's a smoker. To almost make it seem like, oh, well, she always goes outside by herself. You know, she's always out there smoking. So we just figured it was nothing. It was almost like another alibi that they were coming up with.
Exactly. Man, who's this last young lady to actually see her alive?
Right.
That's the whole thing. She should have still been there.
Mm-hmm. Because Jose, I believe Jose on the dispatch call, it's either or. He said to the cop, one, he said he's seen her in the kitchen, and then the other one said like she had went outside to go smoke, and then another article I read said something about like, oh, she was gonna go outside and then she's gonna lay back down on the couch. Like, just the story right. That they were given, it just didn't make any sense.
He saw her in the kitchen because she was waiting for a ride. So why is she waiting for a ride if it's a sleepover? Did something happen or?
Right. Oh, and the unlit cigarette that was found. Thank you. Yeah. The unlit
cigarette and a lighter. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because my thing is she was smoking and just happened to go out there. Like the cigarette would have been lit or something, you know? As far as I know, they didn't do any DNA testing on that cigarette. No.
No DNA testing. And Jose stated that there was footage, which there wasn't any footage due to the battery was dead, allegedly.
Mm-hmm. But we know they erased that footage. Allegedly, The battery was dead, you know?
I'm tired of seeing cases like this. They sicken me.
Yeah. Right. You're right, Taylor. Yeah, the weed made her paranoid enough to jump off it not so high on the balcony. Fuck out of here. Yeah, exactly. Because they keep bringing up the weed and the Xanax. Like, the weed and the Xanax does not make you jump over a balcony or fall over or anything like that.
She should have passed out, actually.
Exactly. She should have passed out. If all that was going on, she should have passed out.
Nothing got tested, no pictures, nothing. Exactly.
It was too far gone. Yeah. And Coco, I'm sorry, I don't know if you agreed with me, but what do you think would have happened? Because what do you think as far as jail time they should get? I kind of went extreme. I want you to kind of bring it back.
Well, no, I think they all should absolutely get the death penalty. They definitely deserve that because this was a plotted scheme gone wrong.
Right.
It's a cover-up. It's definitely a cover-up.
Yeah, and I mentioned that earlier too. I know a few of you say something about the husband. I think that maybe it wasn't supposed to be guys over. I think like if it was going to be men over, I'm pretty sure she would have brought her husband over with her. You know, that's the crazy part.
Guys weren't supposed to be involved, but somehow 3 men were there.
Yeah, that's my thing too, Queen. Where is like the video of like the I don't want to say the interrogation, but you know the room that they put you in when they
that's what it is.
Down. Yeah.
That's what it
is.
Where was that? Room. Yeah, they don't have any footage of nothing because they didn't do anything. They didn't even call ambulance, fire truck. They didn't call anyone out except for an officer.
Right. I think they just interviewed them at home. If I read it correctly, they just interviewed them at home. I don't think they took them down to the interrogation. If she's 5'5", how is she going to lean over a 3-foot railing? I'm 5'5", and my waist is below my 3-foot railing. I'm so confused about that.
For what I'm getting from Jose, he was trying to speculate that maybe she climbed up and stood on top of the balcony to jump off. If I'm, correct, I've watched a few different videos on this.
Right. Queen Jose is the guy. The John is the homeowner. The girl that owned the home, that's her boyfriend or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And he's a parole officer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Also, the last time she was on the phone was to her pregnant stepdaughter, and this was around 12 a.m., 1 a.m. Things went downhill from there.
Exactly.
I wonder what happened with that conversation. Yeah, I did hear that she did make a phone call. I wonder what happened with that conversation. Like, what did she say? Yep, the men were not supposed to be there at all. Okay, the family moved to Florida. That's where they are, Queen. Thank you for that update.
Absolutely.
And is your name I'm talking to the commenter, Coco. Is your name Faye? Is it Faye or is it Fi? How do you pronounce it? I don't want to say it wrong. I'm sorry if I butchering your name. Good question. What happened to her phone? The drop was from a second story onto grass. I don't care. Ain't nobody dying from that. I would agree with that. What about you, Coco? I don't think nobody would die from that fall if it was grass. Like, it's not concrete.
Yeah, I don't think no one would die from that type of fall either.
Mm-hmm. The phone went to sleep with one of the Karens. Yeah, or they erased everything out her phone. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because it was actually footage of the party or the
Thank you,
sleepover,
Faye.
I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I wonder, was anybody, like maybe like their friends on like Snapchat or Instagram? I wonder, like, did anybody comment? Like, if anybody can read their comments, because I haven't looked at any of the people's social media because I'm guessing they probably deleted everything. But I wonder if anybody got any screenshots or anything, any communication, any talks, like who outside of the situation knows anything, because that's when we'll really get the truth.
Exactly. I definitely concur with you on that one.
Her phone was with her friend she wanted to sleep with, but her friend's boyfriend said no. She said, at least our phones can sleep together. So last it was inside. They got rid of it. Oh, so the boyfriend wouldn't let them sleep in the same bed or whatnot together.
Right.
I mean, did he think like they had a relationship or something
They
like
took
that?
her phone. They took her phone. Right.
Wow, they took her phone. That even got my mind going crazy right now even more. Like, yeah. Mm,
You're right. It's finally out there, and I'm glad that it's finally out there.
right. Oh, did the videos on the phone get taken as evidence?
I'm
That's a
not
good
sure.
question. It didn't, because it probably would have told us something.
Mm-hmm. It probably did, but they ruled
Oh, he
that
wanted
her
to sleep with
death
the
was
girlfriend. Okay.
accident.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for that clarification, Taylor. I appreciate that.
Oh.
And we're gonna sleep together. The lawyer stated they got rid of the evidence. It added up. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, somebody, AT&T, Verizon, whoever your that phone company is, they need to look that shit up, because I know they have that shit.
Somebody need to look up something.
Yeah, that's how people be getting caught up cheating, because they get the bill or they get the transcript of all the text messages and everything. So somebody got to have something.
They have something. If they can pull up Hillary Clinton's old emails, they can actually pull up that information as well. Come on now. Let's just be honest.
Boom! Mic drop. If they can find Hillary Clinton's emails and everything like that, they can find something. They could have been able to find. Hey, we need Anonymous. That's what their name is, right? That leaked that stuff about Trump recently with the Epstein. We need Anonymous to come in and get on this case and release some of the information. I know it's very eerie and like you just get a
very eerie.
Yeah.
It's very eerie. That's why, I'm not making light of it, but it did give me very Get Out.
And the way the media is showing her all happy and everything like that, it's almost like they want her to they want to paint a picture that everything was fine, like she was having such a good time, the way they post all those pictures and everything like that from the party.
Exactly. Laughing and joking with one another.
Oh, WikiLeaks, that's what it is. WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. We need all that shit.
They can, but they haven't. Queen. They can pull those call logs. I'm pretty sure they can.
Yeah, they gotta be able. Yeah, they gotta be able to pull that shit up.
It was very brutal.
I hate that. All right, what time? Oh, okay, we almost had an hour and a half. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close out the show. Coco, where can the people find you at?
They can find me on Instagram at Coco Delicious, and they can also find me on YouTube, same name, Coco Delicious.
Okay, and what about your fans only? I'm just playing with you.
I haven't started that yet. Keep your mouth shut. Shh.
I'm just messing with you. That was funny. But no, I appreciate you coming on the show. Like, thank you for voicing, expressing your opinion, as well as everybody else commenting out there on the live chat. I love y'all to death. Like, I couldn't do this show without y'all. Like, definitely, once we get more updates on this, we're going to come back and do another one. I don't know when the next live show is for the Tamla case, but we definitely gonna bring this back because I feel like we are part of the investigation. Like, we actually helping out.
Right.
Like, we had some very good discussion. What do you think about it?
I definitely do think, they probably need to put some of the people in the comments on the case. It would have been solved by now.
Right. let us solve this shit out because whatever y'all doing ain't working. You know what I mean?
At all. I definitely want to thank you so much, AT, for having me on your platform. I enjoyed the show.
Oh yeah, no problem. And I just want to tell the people real quick also, there is a .org for Tamla that will give updates. It's let me get it real quick for the people before we close out. It's justice for here we go. I'm gonna put the links in the comment after we're done. No, not color for change. Every time I need something, I lose it. I hate that. Oh, it's justice for TAM. So justice for and then TAM.org. That is actually run by the family. So make sure you guys check out that website as well too. Hopefully we get some kind of updates on this, and we'll definitely come back and discuss this. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. I love all of y'all, especially you, Coco, for coming on. Love y'all. Deuces.
Thank you.